All right. Thank you so much for listening to this message today, everyone. I really appreciate your attention for just the first couple of points. A lot of nice to knows near the end. So listen for as long as you wish, but thank you for paying attention. I hope you all are enjoying session 3 play, whether it's already underway or about to start. I know it can be an exciting and anxious time of the year. And that's why we're going to go through our agenda, in particular, those first 2 points there, spectator conduct and spectator liaison expectations. We obviously wanted to reinforce the messaging from Ring Out Alberta, pass along some messaging we as an association received from Black Gold League, and have a wonderful rest of the season from the stands. A few comments on board succession as we start to put thought to next year. A couple of committees we're looking to form. We got our casino dates, 3-on-3s around the corner, and a look ahead to some year-end surveys that you'll receive. So starting with spectator conduct, you all should have received the Ring at Alberta message, which in past years, I've noticed Ring at Alberta tends to send something out around, we know this is an anxious time of year. I always find as a parent, we want joy for our children, and sometimes in team sport, it doesn't always happen, whether the result on the ice isn't what we were hoping for, or the call by an official doesn't go our way, and that passion around joy for our athletes sometimes creeps up the throat in ways we don't like, and it's sometimes hard to suppress down, but we have to. It has gotten overwhelming for not only the leagues, but also for Ring at Alberta, just the volume of complaints about spectator behavior. So my ask, the Ring at Alberta ask, is we all do our best to be part of the solution here. And then specifically for us in Edmonton, we have had a number of situations where our situation revolved around our spectator liaison. So Black Gold League did issue a warning to Edmonton, and if we have another situation, it will result in a fine to the association. So we're asking all of the teams to do a few things around spectator liaison. Please pick someone who has that in them. And I find being a good spectator liaison is a mix of fairly calm demeanor and also confidence to be able to ask other parents to please respect an official, or at times it gets to the point of asking them to remove themselves from the building. They are who responds if there is a spectator incident on behalf of what happened, to say, here is what I observed. So it is an important role. In this message, I will link the BGL policy, which details all of the expectations of the spectator liaison. Also, ideally, someone consistent. We know that's not always possible, but it's helpful. And they're often not getting noted on the game sheet. So then when there's an issue, teams are reaching out or the league's reaching out, and we don't know who the spectator liaison is. So it would help if it's consistent, and it would definitely help if it's noted on the game sheet as it should be. I've got Coach Knobloch from the Oilers, because if his children play any team sports, he'd be the perfect spectator liaison. He's coaching a multi-million-dollar operation in the Oilers, and doesn't look like he has a pulse half the time when exciting things are happening. So I know for me, I look up to him on how calm he can be around the sports. So thank you, everyone, for those last 2 messages. They are important. It's kind of a good news, bad news thing. Is the good news, it's not like this is just an Edmonton thing. The bad news is this kind of stuff is happening everywhere, and not just in Ringette, from what I hear from families that have children in different sports. So let's all do what we can to be part of that solution. Okay, onwards to board succession. So our annual general meeting will be coming up in a few months, and we will have turnover on our board. So just wanted to put out a general call out. Your association is only as strong as the board that helps support it. So we are a team, and we have many board positions, and we really appreciate when people reach out saying, how might I be able to help? We do have a specific ask at this early stage. Our amazing treasurer, Tyler Prosiak, has completed his term, and so specifically one of our more significant positions we are looking for is treasurer, and Tyler's got a great system set up. He is not disappearing. He will be here to support whoever may be interested in this role. So if that sounds like you, please email me or reach out to anyone on the board. And then just if you're in general interested in helping, we're also interested in some shadows. So maybe you're not interested in being our board member for a certain role today, but could you shadow the person that does it in hopes of taking it on one day, just so that we have a strong board down the road. Out of our last meeting as a board, we would have talked about a couple of small committees. Sometimes we can't accomplish everything right in a monthly board meeting. We do want to review and look to adopt Ring at Alberta's safe sport policies, because they keep them up to date. They have lawyers review them. At our association level, we are typically volunteer run all up and down the line, so we don't necessarily have the skill set and or capacity to constantly be updating good and important policies around things like safe sport. So we were just wanting a small committee to both review those and understand how might we stitch those into our bylaws. So if that sounds like you, if you're a detail-oriented person, maybe if you're a lawyer, reach out. We would like just a few people to take a look at that, ideally leading up to our AGM. And fundraising. Fundraising is one of the more important topics, and it could use some support on just ideating. Richie Nolan, our wonderful fundraising director, does a wonderful job, and it'd be wonderful if we could have some people give him a hand with just ideas for next season. How might we continue to raise funds to keep all of your registration fees as low as we possibly can in the face of headwinds such as increasing costs almost everywhere we turn, which is not unique to sport, right? Speaking of fundraising, we got our casino dates. Another good news, bad news story. It's in the summer. So we've got July 19th and 20th at the Grand Villa downtown. So we're just starting. We just got those dates. We're starting to put a plan together on how might we make sure it's fully staffed. Keep it in mind. Look for messages from us in the near future on how we're going to go about staffing that. It's the summer, it's tricky, many of us might be away, and many of us aren't in rinks on a regular basis, so that might help us find some people to get that for us. It's a significant fundraiser for us. We only get this once every 2 years, so we'll definitely be putting all hands on deck there. 3-on-3, I just thought I'd offer, and I saw the registration. I went onto the system, and we're down to just a couple of goalies, I think, one at each of one at a couple of levels each, and just a few player spots left, so that's exciting. I didn't know a lot about 3-on-3. I actually didn't sign our athletes up when we first moved here. I thought it was more involved than it was. If you haven't signed up before, you signed up for the first time, or you're looking at one of those last spots, it's fantastic. It's all for fun. It's relaxing. One game a week. Players can kind of rotate into teams. If kids are away for a weekend, you can pay a couple bucks and join a team. So it's fantastic. So looking forward to when 3-on-3 commences. And if you're sitting on the fence like me a few years ago, just know that it's really just for fun, and it is a lot of fun. Year-end survey. So last thing I wanted to say, you'll eventually see as the season concludes a year-end survey really designed to help our amazing coaches continue to move forward in their important role. I very much enjoyed meeting with as many coaches as I could last summer, going through the feedback surveys together. There's so many positive remarks, which honestly means a lot to the coaches, and at times some really strong, constructive feedback. All of us want to get better at what we do. So as you see those surveys, know a few things. Number one, it is confidential. There is one individual, our internal director, who does see kind of the raw data. Their goal is to take out any references to specific athletes just to ensure there's anonymity to the survey, because that is our commitment to all of you. Is a coach will never know who may have offered something. And it really, I guess I'll just say it really helps. But I referenced the confidentiality because I did have a few parents at the end of last year say, I didn't like it because I had to put my name in. Well, you have to put your name in because we usually have a draw, but that name is never associated with the feedback as it gets presented down the road. So that is just the comment on the surveys. The other question that is really helpful to us is your intentions to play next year. I believe that we usually offer a for sure, unsure, or no, and that really helps us as the season gets going next year to start to forecast how many teams might we be forming at a given level, which means how many coaches do we need, how many goalies do we have, et cetera, et cetera. So that information really helps us prepare for what we want to be another amazing year for all of you. So on that note, thank you very much for listening. I hope you are all doing well. If you have anything you wanted to ask or offer some feedback or some input, email address is there on the screen. All of our board members are amazing, so if you know one of them, feel free to reach out. And again, hopefully see you around the rinks. Hope all is well. Bye for now.